Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna carve a old wooden thread spool. I've done quite a few in the last couple of weeks. There's a couple that are here. Simple and fun, you know, nothing too extravagant. A couple other examples. Sky's the limit. I kind of like this guy. I think he's kind of cute with his big feet. And his little butt. Anyways, so that's what we're going to do today. I have no plans. I have no, I don't know, all I've done is clean some of the green paint off this particular one. I left some on the back. You could see how it looked before. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. First thing I like to do is I like to make a center line, and I try to find a spot where there's no little marks or anything. Sometimes you'll see a little knot here or there, and I'm going to put some eyes here. It's kind of like where the eyes are going to go there. The rest will be forehead up above it. And then our nose. We want to make our nose pretty big, because if you take too much off, you can always recover. But if you make it too small, you can't put any wood back, right? So make sure you make your nose big enough. We'll get it all shaped up later, and then we'll have a little mouth down here somewhere. So what I like to do with the eyes is I take a little number 9. It's very, I don't know how small it is, about 1/4 inch or something like that maybe. And I just run that up in there. Start defining where the eyes are going to be. Around the other side, same thing. Wood's a little hard. Some of them are hard, some of them are soft. I don't know what kind of wood it is. I'm kind of guessing ash, but I don't know for sure. If anybody knows, I really haven't Googled it, but maybe somebody could and put it in the comments. Okay, I'm going to make these a little bit farther down this way. Same with this side. Just like that. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to come up on each side of the nose. I'm going to kind of come almost about halfway, I guess. And I don't want to take the line off where I got the nose drawn in. I'm just going to go in front of that and push that up in there. Maybe a couple times. Because we're going to want that depth. Go to the other side, the same thing. We're going to want that depth for make our nose stand out. Just like that. There, we're going to come here and clean that up. Clean that up. Okay, that's pretty good. Then we're going to take a knife. Today I'm using a Helvy detail knife. It's a flexible blade, one of my favorites. And we're going to take, on an angle, put our nose, tip of our blade right in the bottom of that nose, kind of deep. Same with the other side. Just try to take it right to that center line that we drew, like that. Then we're going to do a little smile line down about that far, and the other one. Make sure you try to get them even. About that far. Okay, and we just want to double check, make sure we got us so nice. We get a nice little clean chunk when we take that out of there, like that. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. Then we're gonna just tip of our knife, we're going to take them chunks out each side. Be careful you don't come up and cut your nose off. This one broke. A cheek broke right there. It's alright. This wood can be tricky at times. You never know. Each piece I've had so far has been kind of different. But I think it holds detail pretty well. I think I found that it's with carving this, it's easier to take smaller slices. I think sometimes I try to take too big of a piece out, and that's when I get in trouble. So take your time. Don't try to horse it out of there because it'll definitely split on you, break. So just take some smaller cuts. Like that. Just shave. Then we want to take some of this out. Now be careful of this ridge here. Whoops, I'm getting off camera. I'm sorry. So easy to do. This ridge right here, be careful when you're carving down here like this, because you can cut right through that and break it. So be very careful. Again, we're just going to do a basic face, and then as you come along with them, you can start adding detail if you want. Here I'm just kind of concerned about the dental plane here. I just want to make sure that I don't want my face to be flat. So I'm going to make these a little bit deeper here and here. And then these under the nose again. Get them nice and deep. Okay. Take another little sliver out of there. Yeah, that's going to give our nose some little depth. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think I'll take on each side on the bridge of the nose. I'm gonna kind of go straight in and clean that out a little bit like that. And clean it out a little bit like that. And I'm going to come up each side of the nose, the bridge of the nose, like that. Again, on the other side. Try to keep them as even as possible. And let's clean these eye sockets out a little bit better. Just shave that out of there. Okay. All right, now I'm going to kind of get an idea how we're going to have a mouth. Yeah, we'll just kind of give him a little frown, I guess. A little sideways little frown. So we're just going to stick a tip of our knife in there real deep. Be careful, don't cut yourself, and just use your muscles in your hand, your fingers. Don't try to pull it. I don't want you to slide it off and cut yourself. So we're going there kind of deep. Now we're going to come across the bottom like that and cut a little bit out of that bottom lip. Same with the top. Just a little bit on an angle going down like that. And then we're going to go inside there deep again. A couple times. And I come from the other direction. Like that. And we're going to just try to take out a little bit there to make it look like his mouth is open. Just a little bit. Get that little sliver out of there. Take your little brush if you got one. If not, you should get one. They're handy. So I can see that sliver still in there. Come on out. Try not to pry too much with your knife. I don't want to break a tip. It's just stuck in there. It's loose, just won't come out. There it went. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we're kind of getting a face there, aren't we? Now, you're going to have cheeks, right? What about some ears? Probably need some ears. So what I like to do is I like to take right about the center where my eye sockets are. I draw a line like this. Just a little faint line just to give me some reference. I do that on each side. Try to keep them nice and even. And come across like that. Then, to space the ears evenly from the outer edge of the eye sockets over, I kind of eyeball it, go, okay, well, that's about 1/4 inch. I'm going to go a little bit past that, and I'm going to make a line going down like this. Then I'm going to give it another 1/4 inch, and I'm going to make another line going down like this. About the same length of lines. Then I'm going to connect them to like that. Same thing on this side. Another 1/4 inch, and then come back a little bit farther than that, and I'm going to come down, make that line. Just make sure they're about the same size. And another 1/4 inch, which is just about where the end of my line is at. Like that. Make another box. Now this is just the way I do mine. You can do them whatever way you want. Whatever is easiest for you. So I'm going to just put in the front here, I'm just going to put the tip of the knife in there, and I'm going to carve down not real ungodly deep. Not as deep as I'm going to go back here. Back here I'm going to go a lot deeper. Maybe even do it twice. Okay. And then I'm going to, and here, twice. Oop, went a little far. That's okay. We're cutting all that off. And I'm going to go here. Same thing, twice. Okay, let's go the other side. Not quite as deep. And deep. Twice. These lines. And this one. Okay. All right. Now let's get these ears boxed in a little bit here, just so we know where they're at. Try to be careful not to go too. This is where you want to make sure you got a good sharp knife. You don't have to push too hard and then it slip and then cut your ear. Be real careful when you make these cuts down to the ear. Make two different directions there. Like that. Like that. Okay, let's do some more on the bottom here. And take this down. Okay. Now we're going to get the front. Shave off a little bit on that. We're going to bring our knife up. All the way to the top. Bring your knife up. All the way to the top. Okay, clean that up a little bit. Well, here our ears will be roughed in here in a second. Okay, let's go to the other ear so you can see it stick out a little bit. Now we know where they're at anyway. Now let's go to this one, same thing. Nice soft cut coming up there, be very careful. Same with the top, careful. Finish it up there. And we're gonna slice this up in front of the ear. That. We'll be taking out more wood there for those temples. Now we're going to take this down. Like I said, be careful when you're coming down. Don't cut through it, hit your thumb. If you want to see some really good examples of carved thread spools, is look up Dale Kirkpatrick. He's on Facebook, I know, and he's got some really cool. He's been doing them a long time. He's got some really cool ones, and my mind is slipping with me. I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel or not. I don't know if I've seen his YouTube channel, but he's a nice guy. He's paid me a couple of compliments on some stuff I've done, and which I really appreciate. When I hear it coming from an experienced carver, it means a lot to me, because I'm a newbie compared to all these other guys, that's for sure. But anyway, check him out, and also check out Doug Linker. Doug has done some too. We need to make this a little bit deeper here so we can see that ear. There we go. Wood broke on me. Did you guys see that? I thought I cut myself, but I didn't. Trying to get in a hurry. Every time you make a video, you always try to hurry. You don't want people to get bored with your carvings. I don't know about you guys, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos on carving, and that's how I've learned. That's why I'm doing this, because I'm just trying to give back. I don't know any other way of doing it. I would love to have a group and sit and carve with a group and teach anybody what I know. But anyway, this is my way of giving back, making these videos. And I also have I started a page on Facebook called Wood Carving and Art for Beginners. Check that out. And while you're at it, if you could, I'd appreciate if you could give me a like on this video and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. And that helps me out, helps with the algorithms, and it'll get more people seeing. Maybe I can help out other people if you find this interesting. Plus, you'll get notified when I have a new video post. It doesn't cost anything, but I would appreciate it. Okay, now let's work on establishing his chin. Okay, it looks pretty square right now, doesn't it? So we need to take some of this off out here, each side, like so. A little more. Okay, then you kind of cut the little sharp edges out as you go. And then what I like to do is I like to take almost like a little wedge cut. I cut down like that, then I come in straight in, remove that, wedge cut, straight in, remove that, all the way across this bottom. You can even go around to the side, coming up to the ears, just like that. Because we're just doing a face. We're not doing, I'm not going to do any feet or you know, anything like that. This is just basic. If you want, you can even get down into the base of that to give it a little more depth on that chin. Okay. Okay. All right, and then also when your jawline kind of comes up like this behind your ear, like so. So what I like to do is a little angle, cut that out, a little bit higher as you get closer to the ear, and a little bit higher. I just work that till you get how you like it. Just kind of doing a little scoop cut there. See the difference between one side and the other? Ooh, my knife's annoying. It's hard to get this focus. So I ordered a new phone. Should be coming a couple of days, they tell me. Supposed to have a better camera. More storage. That was my problem. I've been trying to make videos and I was running out of storage, and I get halfway through the video and it shut off on me. And I don't know how to do all that editing business. And this phone's supposed to be AI something where it makes all the editing features easier, for especially for somebody like me, because I'm terrible at that stuff. Okay, so I'm just trying to get that jawline over on this side close to what we got on the other. Getting there. Almost got jaws. Huh? So we're gonna have to carve some of these cheeks out of here a little bit and work on that dental plane again. I gotta take some of this down here. I don't want that flat face. There's so many good carvers out there that have videos. I mean, the guys just amaze me. And that's how you're gonna get good. Just keep practicing, watch them videos, and take a lesson if you get a chance. I'd like to take a lesson, but there's just nobody near me. There's one guy that's close to me, but I just can't afford him. He's really expensive. I'm not going to say his name, but I can't afford what he wants. But a lot of the carving shows, I went to a couple last year, or 2023, and met a lot of nice people. Everybody in this carving community is pretty darn good people. Everybody's willing to help, which is fantastic, because I know there's a lot of different hobbies and stuff where people, oh, it's a secret, I can't tell you. You're not going to find that with a carving. Everybody's willing to share what they know, and I just love that about this community. Okay, so we kind of got the jawline for you. I need to take this cheek down just a little bit more. Let's see with a brush here. Okay, Now let's look up top at our up here. So we're gonna have eyebrows. All right. So let's cut some of this back up here in the temple areas. Let's get that going first. Maybe top of this ear, take a little more off of that. Okay. A little more. Yeah, even a little more. Okay, let's do the other side. Top of that ear. Carefully come down to it. So I'm trying this different angle right here, filming than what I did before. Usually I do overhead, and I'm trying this to see if it's any better, if it's able to see better. See a few guys that use this angle when they're carving, and they seem to be pretty good. I think a lot of those guys have really good cameras, and you know, I don't. I just got a phone. Okay. All right. Let's separate those eyebrows. I'm just going to take this is probably like a number 5, real small, and I'm just going to run that up there a couple times. Help if I get it in the center above the nose. Okay. Now we're going to make some eyebrows. We're going to figure out how thick we want them going from here to here. So I'm going to just probably split the difference, and then I'm going to make a scoop cut right up into that. Okay, then I'm going to come down a little farther on an angle and just kind of shape the eyebrow. Sort of like that. And go to the other side, same thing. About halfway down, scoop cut it up there, flip it over, same thing, a little bit more. Sharp little points off there. So that kind of gives him some eyebrows. If you can see that. Okay. No, yeah. Yeah, my kitty cat been bugging me all day. She's really old. So I gotta fix this. It still looked flat to me. I'm gonna make a little tiny scoop cut under that lip. Make that bottom lip protrude a little bit. And take that ridge out of that. This is where it's tricky with these, is that you don't have a lot of room to work. tip of that knife. Just scooping some of that out of there. It doesn't look like I'm taking much. Well, I'm really not, but it'll show up later when we get finish on this carving. You'll see the just keep cutting into that chin, getting down there. Okay, now get that point up that nose. Curve that back a little bit. Create the bridge of that nose. Still trying to jaw down a little bit. There. It's just fun creating faces, you know. It's amazing what just one little tiny cut will make a difference with an expression or a little wrinkle in a face. Okay, speaking of that, I'm gonna take this down a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some of them crow's feet. My Alexa just starts off by herself every night. Every night. Drives me nuts. Okay, so right here, so where your brow starts to come down, just make a little cut right there, just a little stop cut, and then come up into it like that. See that? Same with the other side. Like that. Sorry about my cat again. It's usually she's sleeping. Usually she just sleeps and sleeps and sleeps. Today I decided to make a video. She decides she's going to stay awake. So that's just the way, you know, cats are. I think they hate you. I don't know. I think they think you work for them. I don't know. She's almost 20 years old, I think. She's old. So I'll give her a pass. I make this one a little deeper. I'm just trying to get that. Okay, that's good enough. It'll be all right. I don't know why it doesn't want to show up like the other. All right. Now I think we need to make these ears over. This one looks bigger than the other one, which is, figure if it's taller, smaller. That's pretty close that way. I think it's a little too tall. I need to take some of this ear off. Just a little bit. So I guess if, you know, I should be measuring these, but, you know, it's not a big deal to me. 1 ear's off. Okay. You're gonna see me, I keep going back to this chin. I just like to get that as deep as possible. It really adds that character. I think. Now I like to take some of these rough, sharp edges off these smile lines here. I don't like them real sharp. So I usually just kind of, just barely, trying to pull on me there. Change directions if your wood starts to tear on you. There we go. Oop. So I need to find this gouge again and just scoop a little bit out of there. Just a little bit. Sure they're pretty even. Okay, so let's draw the eyes in. What I like to do is put a dot on each side. Put one there. I put one there. Then I say, okay, I want my eyes this way. One more right there. Another dot there. And try the same distance right there. And check them out, make sure they look pretty good. Okay, and they do. I like to start with it'd be the right eye because it's in my left hand. I like to start on that side first because it's easier to match the left one with the right eye. Draw that like that, and then this one. That, bring it down, and then I bring this all like that. And that looks pretty good. Not too bad. I can do one of two ways. I have a tiny V tool. Let me see here. It's a small one. Made by Ramelson. And I'll start like right here on this side and just kind of like follow that line. And then I'll come over this side, do the same thing. Try not to go too deep or you'll start tearing. You know, this thing doesn't, your V-tools only are supposed to go a certain depth. Okay. See, that one started to tear. Let's clean that out of there. There we go. Now let's get the bottom. I usually at the bottom I like to start right about in the middle and come up. Just to get an idea. There's several ways of doing these. That's the one I'm doing today. Let's clean that up. So we're going to come in here with a knife as well. But right now we're just trying to take the V tool. Okay, let's get the bottom of this one. Start inside, come on up. All right. Now, we're going to take our knife and we're going to come over to the side here. And watch this. You're going to come in with the tip of your knife right to that corner. You're going to stick it straight in there. Just like that. And you do the same over here. Stick it straight in there. And you're going to come around this side. Same thing. You stick it in there. This one, you're going to stick it in there. Now, go back here. You're going to put your knife on a slight angle. And you're going to take out that corner. Just like that. And you come back here and you do the same thing. You know, your angles, your knife is almost laying flat, but not quite. And you're taking out those little corners. Okay? Then we're going to take the knife and that line that we took with a V-tool. Now you could do this whole thing with a knife from the get-go. But I like doing that V-tool, and just gives me a reference to follow besides that pencil line. So then I just go in with my knife, just the tip of it, and cut that in. Okay? Then I take my knife, lay it almost flat again, and I cut that out. Right there. So it's kind of rounding the top of my eye. Then come down here at the bottom, do the same thing. Just use the tip of it. Then I take, just carefully take that sliver out of there, like so. A little brush and take a look at it. Not too bad. Need a little cleanup. Right there. And you can round that eyeball off a little bit. There's some other tools I like to use for doing that kind of stuff too. And this is one of them. Right here. This is a, they call it a lamb's foot. It's by Helvey. It's great for doing eye detail. But I'm just using a knife today. Okay, now let's go to the other side. So we're going to stick the corner of our knife in there, like that. Same with up here. Just make sure they meet. Like that. We're on the other side. Get that corner of the eye. Get this corner of the eye. Pop that corner out. Pop this corner out. Come around with your knife. Just the tip. Doesn't have to go real deep. And the bottom, same thing. Now we're going to lay it down and just take that sliver out of there. Like so. Flip her over. Take the sliver out of the bottom. You have to choke up on that knife sometimes. And just be careful you don't grip the blade too strongly. This one you do one more time. Let's see what we got. I think we got some eyeballs in there. You can see them. Eyeballs. Okay. You always do a final cleanup on them. We're going to do a little more detail on them. I like to come here and clean that up where those pencil marks are before I go too far. Come down like that. Still want to take some out of this temple right here. See right there. A little bit out of the temple. Same with this side. Yeah, like that. And my brows are a little thick. We can take them down a little bit. They don't need to be that thick. You're gonna take them. It's not sticking out so far. But then again, it's your character. You do what you want. Okay, now let's clean up this eye on this side a little bit. Let's cut out some of that. Cheek looks a little bigger than the other one, sticking out a little further. Okay, I think I want to work on under these ears a little bit more. I want a little more out of there. I want his neck to be a little skinnier, I guess. Yeah, that's better. Don't worry about the back after a while. It's not a big deal. Okay, now we got ears to contend with. Okay, well, they definitely need to stick out a little farther. So we're going to come right here, a little bit deeper there, and we're going to slice up here. Just like so. And we're going to make a cut here again. And I usually try to go down a little bit of an angle. Just a little bit. Oop. Might as well take this off. It's going to be coming off anyway. Same in the bottom. Yeah, you just gotta think of what a head looks like, or look yourself in the mirror. Whatever. Get those basic shapes in. Everybody's different. A little bit more. Okay, now I'm just going to take ever so slightly. I'm going to come from this corner and just take that down a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to take this gouge carefully. Try to hollow out this here a little bit. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to, I guess I should have done this first. Let's shape this ear more to an ear shape. Take these little corners off like that. And this one a little slight angle. That one like that. And clean that up. Just go in there a little bit again. That's nice and easy. I'm not putting all the cartilage and stuff that's in your ear, not in these little ones. I don't know if I could or not. It'd be kind of tedious. So let's shape this here this time before we do that. Okay. Sticking out just a little bit more. Behind here. Take some of that off. And again, carefully with this gouge, a little bit at a time. Go up there on each side of this ear. All right. Now, if you want, you can do a few more details. I'll take them brows down just a little bit. Just a little. My hand's getting tired. Tricky holding on to these sometimes. So this here needs to pop out up here a little bit more. So let's put our knife in there a little bit. And take that down. That's better. Let's see, just a little bit more. Well, oops, sorry. And let's do a couple of crow's feet, like that. Maybe another one underneath here. Do that with a knife or a V-tool, whatever you prefer. Just little tiny ones. Now this mouth, I want to get in there some more again. I know what we need. Got this other little U-gouge. It's very small. Needs this little snot trough under there. And we gotta clean up that nose a little bit. Clean this up a little bit too. So that's all I'm doing now. I'm just going around and looking and cleaning up the maybe try to shape his upper lip a little bit too. Just putting a little, just using the tip of that knife. I'm having a time seeing here. Here's my glasses. I have some really cool magnifiers that I wear once in a while. I should be wearing them right now doing this little guy. They have a light on them and everything. 8 different magnifications you can change the lenses in. For my old eyes. Just kind of round this ear a little bit. I mean, you can go on and on and on with these carvings, but we're almost we almost got it here. Like I said, it was just going to be a basic one. I don't even think I'm going to get around to the back of the head. The back of the head, I just would clean all this green off and taper this down. Well, let's just do it like this. You figure, you know, what the back of my head looks like. Back of your neck. If I've been out of the focus of the camera, out of the frame, I'm sorry. I'm not used to this angle. I like doing, normally I do it above the top view, but so then you can come back and paint your carving if you want. Paint his eyes. Give him some character with the with the paint. His eyes and whatnot. And just go around and clean up. That's all. Shape everything. You know what a head's supposed to look like. So like we could, you know, His eyes. I always like to, when I paint my eyes, I always like to have them looking either up, down, left, right, never straight ahead. So I've made some where they're crossed, where it looks goofy. But, you know, for the most part, if you get the eyes going one direction, you know, they would be painted white, and the eyeball, or for the actual eyeball, and then I'll put a color on top of that. I have a whole painting video that you can watch. But you kind of get the gist of it. Just basic. And like I said, you can monkey around with this for hours. But they are fun to do. I really enjoy them. I think if you maybe give them a shot, you know, if you know, you could even use a full-size knife if you don't have a detail knife. I'm sure, just take your time. But I don't know how long you've been carving, but I know that as I grew into carving, I acquired more tools, and I use just about every one of them. Some more than others, obviously, but others you just, you know, tools are tools, man. You gotta have your tools. Anyways, well, I hope this helps somebody, and please leave comments down. I like to read the comments. I try to check them every day or so, and if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them for you. Again, you can go to Scott's Creative Carving. I got a Facebook page, and you can also go to Wood Carving and Art for Beginners. You can post your art there if you want. It's a good group, very positive people. There's a good, I don't know, there's almost 8,000 people or something like that in that group. And again, if you like this video, hit the like button. Tell your friends, your family, and subscribe for me. I'd appreciate it. Well, that's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care now.